In his racing career, Kyle Larson has experienced a new embarrassing moment. Luckily, the dirt late model driver who doubles as a NASCAR Cup champion was able to joke about it in the winner's circle at Golden Isles Speedway. How did it happen? And what are the latest tidbits in the NASCAR community? Let's find out. Hello NASCAR fam, and welcome back to NASCAR Live. But before we begin, subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. And let's begin. In the 50-lap Super Bowl of Racing main event, the Elk Grove, California driver passed Ricky Thornton Jr. with 3 laps to go for a $12,000 victory. He then firmly planted his car into the Turn 4 wall in an unsuccessful attempt to celebrate by doing donuts. When Larson finally made it to the victory lane in his K&L Rumley Enterprises Longhorn chassis with a flat tire, no hood, and bent sheet metal, he stated, "I'm an idiot. I was far too thrilled, clearly, so I feel really horrible that I tore up a perfectly excellent race car." When asked about his most embarrassing moment earlier in the week, he replied that this one takes the cake among all of his foolish actions. "That was extremely awkward. I don't know what to say, but I apologize." Meanwhile, the opening race of the year is a challenging one for the sportsbooks. They are unable to choose even 2, let alone a clear preference. Yes, the opening race of the 2023 season will have 3 favorites to win. At plus 1,000, or a projected 9.1% chance, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Larson are all equally likely to win the opening race of the year. The books have done this before as well, so it's nothing new. Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Ryan Blaney began the 2022 season as the early favorites to win the opening race. The whole top 10 is given a better than 5% chance to win the race, so it's not only the top 3 that are in a close battle. That includes Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney with plus 1,200, as well as Kyle Busch with plus 1,100. The beginning of the year is typically challenging for sportsbooks. They support drivers who have had a track record of success, and who better to lead off the season than the last 3 champions. The fact that Logano won this race the previous year doesn't hurt, but when the odds are this close, it really does mean that everyone has a chance to win this weekend. On the other hand, NASCAR tests spoilers and mufflers to varying degrees of success at Phoenix Raceway. 6 drivers were chosen by NASCAR to take part in the test, which aimed to evaluate mufflers for races in Chicago and Los Angeles, as well as short tracks in order to attempt and optimize the aerodynamic package. The evaluation of the muffler proceeded fairly smoothly. As a result of the pipes running farther down the side of the car, there are concerns about heat in the vehicle. The Clash, which takes place on a quarter-mile track inside the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum on February 5, won't have as much of a heat problem as the Chicago Street Course, a full-length race in the sweltering summer heat. After testing, Brad Keselowski remarked, "The entire muffler package was quite excellent. It seemed to improve the sound of the cars a little without kind of muting them. I think it was fairly fruitful, and there's something to build on going forward." NASCAR can take something with them to Los Angeles and feel extremely good about, but there still needs to be a lot of work done before this can be sent to Chicago. The next-gen car, which debuted last year, has the exhaust coming out of the car from both sides instead of just the left side, making it a considerably louder car than drivers and fans were used to hearing. The muffler test proved the car is still to be loud. Because of how loud the cars are, some drivers claim they had to switch out their earplugs last year. After the muffler test, Christopher Bell said, "They helped a lot around the garage area, just being around the cars as they started up. They definitely made that a lot more quiet. I was unable to distinguish between green flag and otherwise while within the seat." On a day that was 50 degrees, Bell claimed to be sweating. Bell remarked, "It was scorching, hot, hot, hot. Sitting in the garage area during changes, back-to-back yesterday with no mufflers and today with mufflers, it was very hot today, and yesterday it was nothing." Although NASCAR has committed to using mufflers for the Clash and Chicago, many in the industry think that if fans approve the sound level and the heat issues are resolved, the mufflers could be added for short tracks, where the noise frequently prevents fans from even conversing with the person seated next to them throughout the entire event. 6 to 10 decibels less noise was what NASCAR intended to achieve. Eric Jacuzzi, Vice President of Vehicle Development for NASCAR, expressed overall satisfaction with what the team had to offer. "The sound reduction was in line with our expectations. We're going to need to keep working on the cockpit temperature according to some feedback. There are some paths there that we can take." Additionally, NASCAR tested a redesigned underpanel for the vehicle and decreased the rear spoiler from 4 inches to 2.5 inches and then 2 inches. The theory was that with less rear downforce, drivers would find it a little bit harder to control the vehicle. Additionally, because the front of the vehicle would be impacted by less turbulent air, passing might become a little bit simpler. Although drivers want to explore what would happen with a spoiler of only 2 inches, NASCAR initially only planned to test a spoiler of 2.5 inches. But even though the cars were difficult to drive, this didn't seem to improve their passing capacity. After experimenting with the 2.5-inch spoiler, defending Cup champion Joey Logano commented, "It appeared like the smaller spoiler directionally benefited. It caused us to move up a little, which made us a little bit more sluggish on the racetrack, and it caused us to slide around a little bit more. In my opinion, you might be able to remove everything and still be fine." That alteration, however, may make the vehicles extremely unstable and also have an impact on speeds enough to affect brake cooling, which is also a crucial component for the cars on short tracks and road courses. At the moment, NASCAR can only go as low as a 2-inch spoiler unless it goes with no spoiler. "When you see there's not one on it," Logano remarked, "it seems scary." The majority of the drivers claim that despite the underpanels changing shape, they could not discern any difference. The model being tested is the same as the one that NASCAR and Hendrick Motorsports will use to compete in the 24-hour of Le Mans. The drivers' feedback, according to Jacuzzi, was sufficient for NASCAR to decide against making any adjustments and to stop using the Garage 56 underpanel. NASCAR had certainly expected more encouraging outcomes from the aero test, but that's why it tests in the first place, to see how its ideas hold up in the real-world situations. Following the first day, Ross Chastain stated, "We're going to push for more drag out of the car, so I think the cheapest way to do that is to start taking that stuff off." It essentially accomplished that too. In addition to reducing the spoiler to 2 inches and making it 1 inch narrower than the previous spoiler, NASCAR changed the stuffers it uses underneath the front of the car, expanding those to increase front downforce, then removed engine strakes, and then removed some of the pieces of the rear diffuser, all actions intended to lessen the downforce of the car. Before the switch to the 2-inch spoiler, Bell remarked, "I was pretty enthusiastic about the small spoiler during single-car runs, and then whenever we got in traffic. I was quite disappointed in the lack of difference between the little spoiler and the huge spoiler." And after the modification? We had previously tried 3 different packages, and Bell claimed that he had been unable to distinguish any difference between them. Up until the final box, everything felt exactly the same. I thought that was tremendously better and really hope that we go that direction. Jacuzzi was left with the impression that NASCAR can put out a plan for the future. "We had a good feeling about that," Jacuzzi stated. Also, there is no deadline for any change implementation in the aero experimentation. It was unlikely that any changes could be made until the end of the spring or the beginning of the summer, at the earliest, since NASCAR supplies teams with components and accessories, who buy them from single-source vendors, and because NASCAR would want all teams to test any substantial alterations. In order to give all teams a chance to try the suggested alterations, NASCAR will analyze the test data, take fresh ideas to the wind tunnel, and then maybe have another test before an organization test. Without a doubt, Keselowski added, "There's certainly possibility on some other things. Although it's difficult to quantify today, January has just passed. I anticipate that there will be some ongoing projects this season to improve the raceability of the short track package. There is a chance that suggests a deeper look would be worthwhile." NASCAR announces rule changes for the 2023 season. There are major procedural changes in store for the start of a new NASCAR season. Stage racing at road courses will change in 2023, according to a Tuesday announcement from NASCAR, and there won't be any caution flags to stop the action. Additionally, the sanctioning body will apply guidelines previously outlined in the NASCAR rulebook to adjudicate cars that attempt a similar tactic to the one Ross Chastain did in his Hail Melon maneuver at Martinsville Speedway by imposing a time penalty. Stage warnings at road courses have been eliminated as a result of an analysis of fan council data and industry conversations. At the stage's final lap, stage points will still be given out, but there won't be a caution period or a green checkered flag to stop the race. The action aims to support and enhance the pit tactics used by racing teams over the course of a road race. All road circuits in the NASCAR Cup Series will adopt this alteration. However, caution periods will still be used to divide stages for standalone road course races in the NASCAR Xfinity Series and NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, Portland, Mid-Ohio, Road America. The number 1 Chevrolet gained 5 positions in one set of turns during Chastain's charge around turns 3 and 4 at Martinsville Speedway in October, making for an exciting finish and giving the team enough points to move on to the Championship 4. While the move was exciting and much praised for its originality, it also carried a higher danger to one's safety. Therefore, NASCAR will not add new wording to the rulebook, but will instead reference Rule 10.5.2.6.a, which states, "Safety is a key priority for NASCAR and NEM, NASCAR Event Management. Therefore, any infractions that are thought to jeopardize the security of an event or otherwise constitute a grave risk to the safety of participants, officials, spectators, or others are taken very seriously. Safety infractions will be dealt with individually. Any vehicle that performs a risky maneuver like Chastain's will receive time penalties according to officials." Chastain stressed in the days that followed his relocation that he was not looking forward to making the same choice anytime soon. Why did it succeed? On Championship 4 Media Day, Chastain said, "I don't know, but I have no ideas or intentions to ever do that again because it was not enjoyable." Other racers, including 2-time champion Joey Logano and the winner of the 2020 championship, Chase Elliott, expressed admiration for wall riding and worry about it, both realizing how thrilling it appears to be and the potential risk. Likewise, the 4-race crew chief suspension that had been in force since 2015 has been eliminated as the penalty structure for disconnected wheels has been changed by competition officials. The offending team will be punished with a pass-through penalty, while the race is still in the green flag if a lost wheel is just on pit road. If the violation takes place during a caution, the offending team will restart at the end of the field. According to the new rulebook, 2 crew members must be suspended for 2 races and must serve a 2-lap penalty if a wheel comes loose off the track. And that ends today's episode. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see even more of our incredible videos.